In this video, we're going to look at how we can use percent concentration as a conversion factor. And we'll do this by looking at a couple of examples. Our first example asks us to calculate the grams of potassium hydroxide needed to prepare 250 milliliters of a 4% mass by volume potassium hydroxide solution. So in this example here, we are going to start with the amount that we're given, which is the 250 milliliters. We'll use our 4% solution as our conversion factor. So let's get started. 250 milliliters of solution. I'm going to abbreviate it like that. Okay, so we have milliliters on the top, so that means that we're going to have milliliters on the bottom. And if we look at our units on our percent, it's mass over volume. And so we can say this is grams over milliliters. So our milliliters are going to go on the bottom. It's a percent, so per 100, we have 4 grams of potassium hydroxide over 100 milliliters of solution. 4 grams of KOH. And so this right here is our percentage just written as a conversion factor. Our milliliters of solution cancel. We're left with grams of potassium hydroxide, which is what we are looking for. So we can solve this problem by doing multiplying and dividing here. We have 250 times 4 divided by 100, and we're going to get 10 grams of KOH, potassium hydroxide. And we're going to need two significant figures. I didn't add that in here, but this is 4.0. So that has two significant figures. 250 milliliters has two significant figures. So make sure to write that decimal place right there to indicate that that 0 in the 10 is significant. Let's look at one more example. This question asks us how many milliliters of a 5% mass volume glucose solution contain 0.75 grams of glucose. So just like before, we're going to start with the amount that we're given, which is not our percent concentration. That's a concentration, not an amount. So we're going to start with our 0.75 grams of glucose, and then we will use that percent as our conversion factor. So 0.75 grams of glucose. Set this up. Okay, so we have grams of glucose, so we need the grams on the bottom to cancel out. So if we look at our 5%, that is 5 grams over 100 milliliters of solution. So our 5 grams of glucose goes on the bottom. 100 milliliters of solution goes on top. Our question is asking for how many milliliters of our solution. We have that as our units left, so we can solve this. 0.75 times 100 divided by 5 gives us an answer of 15 milliliters of our glucose solution. Contain 0.75 grams of glucose. And we do need two significant figures since this is 5.0. as well. So 15 milliliters is our answer.